Who do you think is winning this position? Is it white or black? Because right now it is white to move, not black to move. But now we can move the rook, we can move the bishop, the king, and we have a pawn promotion. But if the first thing that you thought about is to make a queen, to stop him from making a queen on this side, well, you're going to be met with a check here, and now you have to move the king, check. The final square for you is to go king to f3, and after that, queen to f2 is checkmate because the king cannot go here because of the pawn. So you cannot promote. Yes, it might be winning for white. It might be a draw actually for white, but it's definitely not the move a8. Now, it is up to you right now to pause the video for a while and to try to figure out the best move for white in this position. Now, the first move, I'm going to tell you that it's going to be very easy, and I'm pretty sure you are capable of finding the first move, without any hesitation. And it is bishop to f3, and good job if you manage to find it. Because the most important thing is to stop him from making this check because it will lead to a checkmate. So it makes sense that the first move it has to be bishop to f3 to stop the checkmate threat. But you're saying, now, what about this pawn on a2? He can make a queen. Well, let's first of all see what's going to happen if he decided to make a queen there. Okay, we're just going to take it. If he decided to take, that's actually pretty bad because then we can just make a queen, right? And then we can take that. We can take the pawn. So he will not make a queen right there. But what if he decided to make a queen on a1? If he decided to make a queen here, you don't have any kind of checks, no checks here, and after that he's going to be met with a check, and he's going to be taking the pawn. What are you going to do in this position? And now this is where I'm going to be testing your IQ and chess knowledge, because the first move was pretty easy, bishop to f3. But now the hardest move is to find the second move for white. Is it the bishop move, a rook move, a pawn move, or a king move? Which one is it? So pause the video and try to find the best move for white. The best move here, actually, it may sound crazy, but it's actually making a queen. You're like, what? Of course, if he made a queen there, you can just take it. It's not a problem. And if he decided to take your queen, now you can see that after rook check on e1, he moved his king there. You can just take his queen. And after, he cannot really make a queen, even if he takes the rook. You can just play king to g3. He cannot defend the pawn. He cannot push it. You can just take it. And now you're completely winning because after bishop takes pawn, the bishop will be back to e4. You're going to win this pawn, the other pawn, and you're going to make a queen. So you'll be totally winning after that. That's why he cannot take the queen. But he cannot do anything. Even if you played a check right there, for example, you can just take, right? If he decided to take the queen here, this is still winning for you because you have rook to e1 check. You're checking the king and defending the bishop. If he decided to go king to f2, now you can just take his queen. After he takes here, you have bishop there, take the pawns, and make a queen of your own. But now, black will not actually play king to f2. He's going to play king to h2. Now what would you play with white? If the first thing you thought about is to play bishop takes queen, congratulations, you just got a draw. It's a stalemate because the king cannot move, the pawns cannot move, and you took the only piece that can actually move, and now it is a draw. So what would you play here with white to make sure it's not going to be ending up in a draw? So you're not supposed to really take the queen, and you have to checkmate the black king. If you gave a check, he's going to take this, and he might be winning this. So what would you play here in this position? The best move in this position right now is to try to checkmate the king by moving the bishop somewhere and checkmating the king on h1 with the rook. But the bishop here is not safe here, 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 or take because it's going to lead to a draw. So the only square for you is to play bishop to e4, defended by the rook. So if he decided to take, you can just take with the rook. You go here, take the pawns, and it's not stalemate because the king can move. So you'll be winning this. He cannot take the bishop. And the king cannot move. So you're threatening literally checkmate on h1. That's a very beautiful puzzle. But Black still has one more move that's going to be a little bit tricky, and it is queen to a1. Queen to a1 is really nuts because it's stopping you from playing the checkmate because he can just take, and after bishop takes, king takes. Let me just show you that. It is not going to be winning for white because after all of the series of trades, you move your king, try to get to this pawn, and he's going to push this one. So it's going to be a draw. You cannot do that. So after he cannot take here. After queen to a1, stopping you from playing checkmate on h1. Now this one I'm going to allow you to actually think about it as much as you can, because if you manage to find it, you're really, really good at tactics. Now, you want to checkmate the king on h1, but the problem is the queen is stopping you from, giving the checkmate, but the rook is hanging. If you decided to give some kind of a check, it is not checkmate, unfortunately, because he still has one square to go to. After this check, he will not go here and blunder his queen. He's just going to go there, and it's not going to be leading to any kind of a win for you. And also, he might have a check, and it might backfire. So, after queen to a1, the only move in this position, which is kind of crazy, is rook to b1. Rook to b1. And you cannot really take the queen because that's also, also checkmate, stalemate, also stalemate. So you cannot take the queen. So rook to b1. Now, the queen has to move because the king cannot move, the pawn cannot move, the pawn cannot move, so he's forced to make a move with the queen. If he moves the queen anywhere, right, he's losing because of rook to h1 checkmate. And if he takes, you can just take, and after the king moves somewhere, you're going to take this pawn, take the other pawn, and promote to make a queen and win the game. And he cannot do anything. He cannot give you any kind of checks. And if he decides to go here, for example, it does not matter because you have checkmate here. And when he takes, you take and you win, and there's not going to be any kind of stalemate. Hopefully you managed to see all of this because, I gotta tell you, this is a moderate chess puzzle, so it's not really difficult and it's not really simple. I hope you liked it, and I'm gonna see you again with another puzzle.